I did today.
It's lovely, Jamie. Now, come on, Mummy needs to get home.
Race to the gate.
Jamie, I can't.
Dad! Mom's falling over!
What happened, Jamie?
She just fell over.
Eve! Eve!
Did it happen again? I'm sorry.
Oh, don't be silly. It's all right, Jamie. Mum's going to be fine.
Can you make it better?
Well, let's get her into the house. Then I'll ring Dr. Thompson.
But why are you having lunch?
I don't know what these people are like.
You just say no.
Look, it was either a lunch or some god-awful conference on the weekend. Besides, they're taking me to Antonio's. What time do you call this?
Sorry. Rang in earlier. Tummy upset.
Dr. Powers, could you see Mr. Taylor now?
I'll be with you in 2 ticks.
Well, just don't have the dressing on the salad. Last time he came back stinking of garlic.
What, you really think I go to Antonio's for a freebie lunch and order a salad?
There's no such thing as a free lunch.
Sounds like someone's getting spoiled.
Uh-huh. Lunch with a drugs rep. He'll be lucky if he can stay awake to the Zabalione.
Surgery.
Right, is that the lot?
Yeah. Helen, phone call for you. Graham Sharp spoke his wife.
Hey, watch it!
Careful!
Try looking where you're going.
Just get out of my way. Apparently she's got her tummy upset.
There's a lot of those, isn't she?
Yes, that's right. She came in to see me yesterday. Oh, I see. No, the results of the blood test aren't due till tomorrow, but I can probably get them sooner. Is she short of breath at all?
Yes, she is. I thought you gave her some tablets for this.
I did, but iron tablets do take a couple of weeks to kick in. Make sure she stays in bed and I'll be around as soon as I can. Joanna, I have to go out. I'll try and be back for afternoon surgery.
But, Dr. Thompson, what if you...
What is it that you do?
I'm a driver with a haulage company.
And are you happy doing that?
Well, you know, it's hard work. Not that I'm afraid of that.
Is it getting to sleep that's the problem, or are you waking up during the night?
It varies. I mean, like this week, I've been waking up at 2:30 and, like, that's it.
You came to see me a month ago, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did those headaches clear up?
Well, you know, I still get the odd one, but them pills you give me was good.
And there's nothing that's worrying you?
No. Well, everyone has problems. It's nothing I can't handle.
Right, well, I'll prescribe some mild tranquilizers for a couple of weeks. Take one before bedtime, avoid tea and coffee in the evening, and if there's no improvement, then come back and see me.
You should give yourself a couple, love.
I'm sorry.
Well, you look like you could do with a decent night's sleep.
Excuse me, I'm looking for Dr. Maguire.
Oh, sorry, morning surgery's finished.
No, I'm here to take Dr. Maguire for lunch. Lynn Baker.
So you are.
Lynn.
Brendan! How are you?
I'm fine.
You look terrific.
Yeah, so do you. You know Kate, my wife?
Yeah, I think we met at one of your parties. Must be, what, 5 years ago?
9, actually. Christmas 1991.
Right. I'll get my coat.
I'll be in the car. It's the blue Mercedes.
You know, something tells me he's going to be able to stay awake until after the Zabalione, after all.
Well, hello, Eve. I see you've already got a doctor on the case.
This is Jamie.
Hello, Jamie. Have you been looking after your mum?
She's not well.
I know. That's why I'm here, to make her better.
I've got some medicines in my bag.
I tell you what, why don't you go mix some nice medicines for your mum, and I'll take a look at her. So you're not feeling too good?
Just keep feeling so faint. Do you still think it's anemia?
It is the most likely cause. I need the results of your blood test. Would you mind if I used your phone?
Yeah, please, help yourself.
Pathology, please. This is Dr. Helen Thompson. You have a sample from one of my patients, Mrs. Eve Sharp. Blood count. Do you have the results? Thank you.
I'm sorry we had to call you out here. You must be very busy.
No, not at all. You did exactly the right thing. Yes? Can you say that again? Thank you.
Is everything all right?
I'm afraid not. I think we may need to call an ambulance.
You all right?
Yeah, just a headache.
I was told it was a stomach upset. A bit over-enthusiastic with the laughing water last night, were we?
Your Honour, people get headaches for reasons other than a hangover.
Sure. But not necessarily the morning after their best mate's birthday. I overheard you on the phone last night. You never mentioned it.
I didn't realise you took such an interest in my social life.
So it was a hangover then? Ibuprofen always works best for me.
It really is good to see you.
Likewise. Just hope it isn't going to cause any problems.
Kate, you mean?
Oh, she wasn't exactly thrilled to see me, was she?
Well, it's hardly surprising. I mean, she does know everything.
It was a long time ago.
Seems like yesterday from where I'm sitting.
Well, shall we order some wine?
I don't understand. I didn't think anemia was this serious.
Normally it isn't, but it depends on how low the blood count drops. Eve, yours is extremely low, and what that means is...
Oh, it's all right. Jamie's in his room.
I don't want to panic you, but a blood count at this level can sometimes cause problems for the heart.
What?
It is a worst-case scenario, but I don't want to take any chances. I think the safest way to tackle it is to get you to hospital now, because you may need a blood transfusion.
Surely there must be some other form of treatment.
In a situation like this, it may be the only safe course of action.
But I can't have a blood transfusion.
What do you mean?
I thought you knew. It's against our religion. We're Jehovah's Witnesses.
Penny for them.
Save your money, they're not worth it.
Oh, come on. I saw your face when that woman walked in here. What is it?
Lynn Baker was the woman who broke up Mac's first marriage.
And you think he might still carry a bit of a torch for her?
She dumped him for another bloke after a year. I think he's always thought of her as the one that got away.
But you two have been together for what, 11 years? Must be water under the bridge by now.
Maybe. It's just we're fighting a lot lately over the BABY issue.
And things haven't been all champagne and roses like they should be.
I could say that again.
Even so, that man knows what side his bread's buttered. He's not going to risk everything for some piece of fluff that dented his ego years back.
Your faith is greater than mine.
Sorry, surgery's closed.
Yeah, I realised that. I wanted to see Dr. Powers.
Oh, she won't be back till this afternoon's surgery at 4 o'clock. You were in early, weren't you?
Yeah, I know. I was just on the motorway and I had a bit of a turn, you know?
Do you want to tell me about it?
I don't know. I felt sick and I was sweating buckets and I got like a tight feeling on my chest.
I could get you another doctor.
No, I don't think so. I'm all right now anyway. I just wanted to chat, you know, put my mind at rest. It's all right if I wait, because I'll see her in a bit, you know.
Can't harm. Take a seat. If you keep worrying about nothing, that's how you'll end up.
Mr. Sharp, I know how important this is to you, but I really recommend your wife at least sees the specialist.
And if he recommends a transfusion...
Then refusing
what
one
then?
could endanger her life.
I see. Well, I'm sorry. I really don't expect you to understand. But this isn't something we can compromise on.
If we do nothing now, we are running a real risk. Eve, how do you feel about this? Ultimately, it's your decision.
There must be something else, pills or something.
I'm sorry.
Graham, what should I do?
As head of this family, I have to give a clear lead. And the answer is no.
Ooh. You remember that meringue thing out in Paris?
I remember everything about that weekend.
I don't think we had more than a couple of hours sleep the whole trip.
We never did get to see that Monet exhibition, did we?
Yeah, I thought about that weekend a lot after you gone.
Yeah, me too. Oh, I was very young and stupid. We've both moved on since then. I mean, done really well and had fantastic careers. And you've got a happy marriage. Haven't you?
Oh, okay, no, fine. But obviously the initial excitement wears a bit thin.
Shame. I think everybody needs a little romance in their lives.
I agree. True romance. Wherever we find it.
Graham, please, think of Jamie. How would he feel if anything happened to her?
It won't come to that.
And if it does?
If it does, then it is God's will.
Fine. But if the worst happens, it's still you that has to look in your son's face and tell him the decision you made. Can you live with that?
How are you feeling?
Like I'm floating away. Where are you going?
To the church. I can't decide this alone, Eve. I need God's help.
All right. Say a prayer for me, too.
Of course I will.
Graham, don't take too long.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mystery. I hear you've had a bit of a funny turn.
Yeah, I'm all right, you know. I don't want to make a fuss. It's just because I was on the road. It probably made it seem worse than it is, you know?
Have you had these symptoms before?
No, never.
Well, what happened?
I had a tight feeling in my chest. I thought maybe I was getting asthma or something, but it's probably just lack of sleep. I mean, that's what I was in for earlier.
Well, I'm sure Dr. Powers should be able to tell you more.
The thing is, it's thrown me all afternoon now. I'm supposed to be in Brownhills by 7 o'clock.
It's a pretty long day.
Yeah, I suppose it is. I don't mind. You know, I used to work much longer hours than this when I had my own garage. Taylor's in Elsdon Road. Do you know it?
Afraid not.
No. Nobody else did either. Good little family business, though. Mrs. used to handle the paperwork. Sister used to do the accounts. But, she passed on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, not as sorry as me, mate. She didn't finish the last quarter. Don't know if I miss her, though. Still, things happen, don't they? I mean, just have to dust yourself down and carry on.
Well, as soon as Dr. Powers comes in, I'll let her know you're waiting.
Yeah, thanks.
It's your life, Eve.
You don't understand. Graham's faith is everything to him. If I went against his wishes over something like this, it could probably be the end of our marriage.
Is that what your religion preaches? 5 years ago, a woman came into my surgery. She was a strict Catholic and a diabetic. She had 6 children. Her health was poor and she just found out she was pregnant again. She wanted to know what she should do.
What did you say?
I told her another pregnancy would probably put her at risk, but knowing how much her faith meant to her, I asked whether she could deal with the guilt of a termination. She said she probably couldn't.
What happened?
She went ahead with the pregnancy. There were complications and she died in childbirth.
That wasn't your fault.
No. But I let my respect for her faith overrule my professional diagnosis. That's it, I'm calling your ambulance.
No! I won't go to hospital, not till Graham.
You remember that tie you brought me? The one covered in pig?
That was just a joke.
Charming. Having a go at a guy's weight problem.
It wasn't about your weight, it was about that noise you used to make. Anyway.
Well, look, thanks for lunch, and I'll get back to you.
It's been great, Mac. See you soon, yeah?
Hope so. So, how's everything back at the ranch?
Oh, you know us. We manage. Don't forget, you've got an appointment with Mrs. Lucas at 4:40.
Well, isn't anybody going to ask me what I had?
I can smell it from here. Those surgical gloves arrived, by the way. I put them in your office until we can store them properly.
What's wrong, Kate?
Nothing. If you excuse me, I've got work to do.
Oh, Caroline. Mr. Taylor's been waiting to see you.
Again, is he all right?
Severe sweating, nausea and some tightness in the chest while he was driving. Only I had a little chat with him.
I'll see him first. I've got a lot to get through.
I just wanted...
Rana, will you just ask Joanna to see him in? Thank you.
Yes, Your Highness.
Shall I go in then?
Eve, you're having an angina attack. If I don't get you to hospital now, you might die.
Mum!
Jamie, go back to the other room. There's a good boy.
Dr. Thompson, make her go to hospital. You said you were going to make her better.
I said I'd try.
No, you promised.
Ambulance, please. Woman with acute angina, possible MI. 118 Sycamore Road. Yes, possible blue light. Eve, please, for Jamie's sake, give your consent to the transfusion. I promise I'll talk to your husband. I'll make him understand.
Please, Mum.
Well, that sounds strong to me, and the reading on the meter's good, so I think we can rule out asthma.
Well, that's a relief. What I can't understand is why it came on so sudden.
And you're not suffering from any particular stress at the moment?
No, like I said, I can handle it. I'm a coper, me, I always have been. Not one to crack at the first sign of trouble.
I think it's just a one-off stress reaction, nothing to worry about, but I will send you to a cardio specialist just to be on the safe side. Now, here's a number if you need a doctor out of surgery hours.
Cheers.
If you've any problems, don't hesitate.
Well, thanks for seeing me at short notice. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Take care.
Cheers.
What's going on? What's happened?
It's affecting her heart. Graham, she's given her consent for the transfusion. I've called an ambulance.
Eve?
Dad, please let her get better.
She shouldn't have had to make that decision alone.
If it makes you feel any better, it was Jamie who persuaded her. In that sense, it was a family decision. Graham, don't turn your back on her now. Go with her to the hospital. She's going to need you.
Caroline, have you got a minute? I really need to talk to you about Mr. Taylor.
What about him?
We had an interesting chat before you arrived. I wondered what you made of him.
Probably just a stress reaction.
I was trying to tell you earlier. The guy lost his business recently, and his sister died a few months ago.
What? I asked him if he had any problems. He said no.
And if that was a panic attack, on top of the headaches and the insomnia. And have you noticed how he keeps telling you how well he's doing, like he wants you to see through it?
What's your point?
I think he could well be suffering from depression and anxiety.
Are you trying to tell me I've misdiagnosed one of my patients? And let me remind you that Paul Taylor is my patient.
All I'm saying...
I diagnosed him on the information given. I am not a mind reader.
No, but it helps if you ask the right questions. I just thought I'd put you in the picture, that's all.
Yeah, well, in future, maybe you should stick to your own patients and let me assess mine. There was still a certificate of medicine on my office wall last time I looked.
I remember, nothing to worry about. Ah, the Ice Maiden Comet.
Could you just sign these before they go out?
Is all this because I had lunch with Lynn?
Hurry up, please. I want to catch the last post.
What was I supposed to do? We prescribe a lot of Well Life products. They're a good company.
There are dozens of well-life reps. Why did you have to have lunch with her?
Because she telephoned and asked me. I'd much rather that than spend 3 hours with Jack Dakin and his stinking cigars.
I can imagine. Talk about old times, did you? The good old days.
Kate, you are overreacting. I haven't seen Lynn Baker for over 9 years, and the chances are I won't see her for another 9. So please, can't we just... Sorry. Dr. Maguire. Oh, Lynn. What a pleasant surprise.
Oh, Kate, do you want to have a word with the reporter from the Echo about our funding?
Yes, I do. We've no money, we're all knackered, and it's still Margaret Thatcher's fault, all right?
So Brendan's lunch went well, then?
Don't you start.
Oh, Dr. Thompson.
Oh, Helen, where have you been? It's been ages.
Joe, have St John's called at all about Eve Sharp?
Not so far. Why? What's happened?
How long have you got?
Caroline, can I come in? Caroline, I'm sorry if I upset you earlier. I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job. I was just trying to be helpful. I know you do the same for me.
I am cross because you're right. Symptoms like that, all that front about how he's coping well, they're classic signs of depression, and I just didn't spot it.
But we all have off days.
In my case, it wasn't just an off day, was it?
Caroline, I'm not judging you. You had a big night last night, for goodness sake. Like I said, we've all done it.
Maybe.
It's only a problem if you make a habit of it.
Yeah, well, that I am not going to do.
Catch you later.
Sit down, Kate, please. Now, before we start embarrassing everybody by behaving like a couple of kids, there are 1 or 2 things I think you ought to know.
Be my guest.
Lynn Baker rang me just now to repeat a question she asked me over lunch. Am I interested in prescribing their new angina tablets?
She could have done that in a letter.
They are a new brand. They claim to be able to reduce some of the side effects, and they're expensive. They are also the company's flagship product for 2000.
What's that got to do with our lunch?
Everything. Look, they are desperate to sell those tablets. But they know it's pricey and they need a hard sell. So who would you send to butter up a balding old git like me? An ex-girlfriend?
And did it work?
Look, I won't deny it was nice seeing her for old time's sake. But if you really think that I'm stupid enough to fall for an old trick like that, then you are mistaken.
It's just that I thought you were getting fed up with me.
Who was it who said you don't go out for a hamburger when you've got steak at home?
Thanks. So I'm a side of beef now.
Well, juiciest I've ever tasted.
That was Eve Sharp's consultant. She's going to have the transfusion.
Oh, well done. This calls for a drink, don't you?
I'd love one. And if you're really lucky, I might even pay.
Sounds good to me. What about you, Caroline?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. Swift one won't hurt, will it?
Sure, why not?
Still find it bizarre. Here we are at the beginning of the 21st century, and we're still trying to convince people that blood transfusions aren't the work of the devil.
I think you have to respect religious beliefs, but at the end of the day, I worked out where I draw the line. If I did push Eve and her husband into it, then I'm glad. And I know that little boy feels the same.
Excuse me?
Graham, what are you doing here?
Could I have a word, please?
I suppose you're going to yell at me now.
No, not at all. No, I came to say that I realize that you were only doing what you thought best.
I'm glad you see it that way.
And, well, I'd be happy if you'd stay on as Eve's doctor. It's good to know that she and Jamie have someone like you to rely on.
I'd be happy to. I'll drop by in the week if you like, see how everyone's getting on.
That's kind of you. Thank you. You'll have to make those arrangements with Eve. I'll have moved out by the time she gets out of hospital.
What? I don't understand.
I thought she'd explained all this. Eve deliberately went against me and against our faith. I can't stay with her knowing that.
But I thought you'd accepted her decision.
Well, I can see why she did it. But Jehovah's Witnesses believe that no one except God has the right to choose who lives and dies. Eve ignored that.
But you can't leave your wife and child just because she chose to live rather than die.
But Eve has forced me to choose between my faith and my family. And I'm sorry, but there's no contest.
Graham, wait a minute. Let's talk about this sensibly. Let's just...
Dr. Thompson, Eve told me that you had promised to talk to me, that you thought you could change my mind. Well, you really shouldn't make promises like that. You're a great doctor, but other people's consciences is none of your business.
So I'm going to call Paul Taylor, ask him to come back in, have another look at him.
It's a tricky one. The hardest patients to treat are always the ones that insist they don't have a problem. Imagine another.
Yeah, why not? Rana, make it a Diet Coke.
So, my persona grata again?
Just about. Let's go after this one. We'll get a takeaway on the way home. Unless you're still full from your fancy lunch.
Oh, I think I could manage a little something.
You're on. I'll have to look at some stock reports tonight. We're running really low of support bandages and dressings.
No, don't worry. I ordered a whole load from...
Lynn Baker.
Yep.
You lying pig. You fell for it, didn't you? You didn't want her to leave empty-handed, so you placed a big order to feel good about yourself, but you can stick them where the sun doesn't...
You said we were running short. What difference does it make who we buy them from, Kate? Kate? Kate?